Nice to see you. Welcome here on our second official meeting, but it actually is the first real meeting where we are presenting the fruit of our studies so far. The group of the four of us, me, Merike, Mike, and Vignesh, we gather together every 2 days almost to study all together and to make these slides. So this is the result of what we did in the past 2 weeks. To open this session, we want to chant a mantra, which is a Shanti mantra, and it's a wish to overcome any obstacle among the person who is explaining and the person who is listening. So we start. Take a deep breath in. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahabiryam Karavavai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Virishvavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you. Okay, now I pass the torch to Mike, who is introducing the concept of astrology, what astrology means. Please, Mike.
Thanks, Elena.
Sorry.
So, oh, good. So, I'd like to start with the concept that we hear a lot about, and that is the saying that as above, so below, as within, so without. So the microcosm at the individual level is really a reflection of the macrocosm. And astrology is the study of energies. And in that sense, astrology studies the connection between the energetic connection between the microcosm and the macrocosm. So to summarize, what the macrocosm really is about is basically the universe out there. And in astrology, we have the zodiac, the planets, the asteroids, the nodes or points, and fixed stars. They are the objects outside of us. At the same time, the microcosm, we generally see in astrology represented as the 12 houses. The ascendant, the descendant, the MC or IC, and the cusps. So astrology is really the study of the energetic interaction between all of those things. And they have very significant impact on individuals in virtually all aspects of our lives. Next slide, please. So the macrocosm is easy enough to understand. It is the sky out there, the universe, which is reflected on our planet as the sky outside of us. And the zodiac divides the sky into 12 portions. And you can see how as the Earth moves through space and as we rotate along our own axis, the sky changes relatively to our position. So that is a foundational basis of how the astrological signs change according to the months of the year and the seasons that we have here on Earth. Notably speaking, if you look at the right-hand side paragraph, you can see that the Earth's position in relation to the 12 signs are quite fixed. So we have the same cycle every year. So all of that astrological facts can be related to astronomical phenomenon, which has been studied in science for a very long time. Next slide, please. So in terms of the microcosm, we have the 12 houses. Now, the 12 houses are centered at the person. So at you right here, the person. If you look at the horizon represents the start of the first house. And and as you go below the ground, every 30 degrees, you reach a new house, assuming you're at the equator, because depending on where you are on the planet, the size of your houses might change. But the idea of the house is from your position, your sphere can be divided up into 12 portions. And each house is like an area of your life, an area of your experience here on Earth that can be, it's like an energetic receptor when you receive energy from the macrocosm, the universe out there. So, unlike the zodiac, the houses are always centered at you. So, if you move around, your houses move around. Um, Now, some houses are very significant. For instance, the first house is of particular interest in esoteric astrology, but we'll talk about that later. So next slide, please. So to illustrate all that, astrologers put together what's known as a chart. A chart is basically a abstraction of the actual status of the sky at any given moment. So we go from the left-hand side. Figure 1, that's a basic representation of the Earth in space. Now, that data can be compressed into a two-dimensional representation, which if you look at the middle graph, we basically lose the third dimension, which is okay, because the relative positions are quite stable along the plane, a single plane, which everything moves. And a further abstraction of that is in figure 3, and that is the kind of chart that you see very often out there. You've probably encountered some of that before. So I'm going to just give you a quick explanation on what that chart is. Next slide, please. So this chart has all the necessary information that you need to actually interpret the chart and make some astrological inferences of the energetic signature that affects someone at a specific time. If you look on the left-hand chart, the left-hand figure, the outside ring represents the 12 signs of the zodiac, and each sign occupies one section. The specific signs, you can look them up in a table, which we have provided here. Moving to the middle chart, the center of the inner ring consists of the houses. And remember, the houses do not change. So those 12 houses, you can see numbers 1, 2, 3, all the way to 12. They do not change, but the outside ring can change as the Earth moves around. And if you look at the planets, the little symbols inside each house, they represent the planets in a specific house. And those symbols can be found on the list you can see at the bottom of the screen. And moving to the right-hand side, the lines, the blue, red and blue lines, they represent aspects, which basically means some of the astrological objects may form specific angles with one another, and they may create energetic interactions among themselves. We'll talk more about that in a subsequent course, I believe. So next slide, please. Okay, let's have an example. If someone says, I'm a Leo, what they're actually saying is their sun is in the house Leo. And if you look at the left-hand chart, left-hand side graph, if the Earth is in that specific position, the sun would have been within the zodiac sign of Leo. If you're on Earth and you look at the sun would have been within the backdrop of Leo. And that can be represented abstractly on the chart. On the right-hand chart, you can see how there is a symbol of the sun within the symbol of Leo. So that's how the chart captures the information in the sky into an easy-to-read two-dimensional map. Next slide, please. Another example, if you look up the sky, you might see the sun in Taurus, right? That's actually what's happening. If you stand on Earth, you look up, the sun is inside Taurus. And that can be represented on the chart, on the right-hand chart. So that's what actually means when you see a symbol sun in Taurus. That's what actually means. That's what's actually happening on the sky. Because we're generally very familiar with the sky just by virtue of our life experience. There is actually a direct correlation in terms of the chart and the sky that we experience from time to time. Next slide, please. So to interpret a chart, we go back to the idea that astrology connects the microcosm with the macrocosm. The zodiac rotates as the Earth rotates. The planets move as they move through the orbits. And the house moves around as you, the person, move around the Earth. So the interaction of all of these elements result in different energetic changes that will affect areas of your life. So a good rule of thumb to keep in mind is something like this. To interpret the chart, what you desire is the planet. The planet basically indicates the kind of thing, like what's happening, right? And in which area of your life is the experience happening, and that's in your house. And how is it actually going to fold out? That is represented by the sign. So some other notes down here below. Planets represent the energies at play, right? What's happening? Signs, there's saying that signs reflect character and how these energies have been utilized in past lives, including the wise or unwise use based on their planets. So planets, not every planet has a harmonic energetic interaction with all the signs. Some planets are exalted, which means they are very free to express itself and supported by the similar energy of the sign. Other planets are actually in detriment or in fall, which means their energy is sort of limited or dampened by the energies of the sign. So, and how, of course, houses denote the circumstances or environments where these energies manifest. So where the things are happening. Now, houses basically represent an area of your life or your experience that these energies will choose to manifest. Next slide, please. So as a practical example, this is actually what's going on when we say, for instance, Mars in Taurus in the 11th house. We have a powerful energy from the distant stars from the constellation Taurus, which is between 40 to 400 light years away. That's a very long, very far away. That energy interacts with Mars, for instance. That energy interacts with Mars and they mix and mingle, they interact, they create a unique kind of energy, which is then received by a person standing on Earth. And that happens in this example, that happens to be in the 11th house, which is the house of community and community and interpersonal relationships. So you can see how the energy of the determined, resilient, grounded, and loyal Taurus mixed with the aggressive, the powerful, the driven, action-driven Mars, and that manifests in the area of interpersonal relationships. You can get sort of an idea of what this person might exhibit when they are in a group. You put that person in a group, they are probably going to become a sort of a leader because they have that drive. They probably become someone who will be reliant upon because they have the sign Taurus, energy from Taurus. And when you mix Taurus with Mars, you can see that this person can lean towards like a authoritarian energy where it's like the overprotective parent type. It's like they are very loyal and they mean good to you, but they can be aggressive. So that kind of a energetic signature. And remember, the energy might manifest in one area of your life, but it can be any area that's relevant to that house. And for each person, the energy reflects differently. The energy manifests differently, depending on things like karma, things like your circumstances, and things like your inclinations. And having said that, obviously, you can see the advantages of learning the signs, particularly right now, we're under the sign of Libra. So I shall hand it back to Elena to explain what Libra is about.
Thank you, Mike. Yes, we as we were saying, now we are our sun is under the influence of the sign of Libra, which, as Carl Jung defined, is the conjunctio oppositorum. It means a conjunction of the opposite parts. And as Illman state, only only with the encounter of the other of the other we can know ourselves. Only with the meeting of the other we can know ourselves. As you can see, he has here Libra is moving, is in the sun is under Libra, and Libra is the only sign which is represented not by a physical symbol, so not a person or an animal, but it is an object, and is associated with balance, harmony, and justice, and it governs legal matters, partnership, and diplomacy. This sign symbolizes the ability to weigh different perspectives and achieve equilibrium in various aspects of life, including relationships and emotions. And Libras excel in mediation due to their capacity to see both sides of a situation. But this trait can lead to indecisiveness and tendency to avoid conflict. And they thrive in partnerships, whether in personal or professional contexts. And the placement of Libra in a chart can reveal the nature of these relationships. Here we just compare the characteristic of this sign under the eye of three different systems. For the exoteric astrology, the Western astrology, and also for the Vedic astrology, this sign is ruled by the planet Venus, which is the planet of beauty. The house is the seventh house for all the three systems. The element is air for all the three systems, and the modality is cardinal, which means that when a sign is cardinal, it is at the beginning of a new season. So Libra is at the beginning of autumn. There are controversial visions regarding the period, but let's say that it starts on 23 of September and it lasts till the 22nd of October. In the Vedic astrology is completely different because they follow another calculation, which is the real one, the astronomical one, actually. And the period is from the 18th of October till the 16th of November. And the name is Tula, which in Sanskrit means Libra, also means scale or also balance. The qualities are balance, harmony, justice, relationships, partnerships, diplomacy, fairness, compromise, mediation, cooperation, aesthetics, peace, indecision, impartiality, charm, tact, sociability, idealism, beauty, and unity. And we have some myths that are talking about this archetype. And the most popular one is Eros and Psyche, which is the meeting with the other. What we were saying before represent exactly the meeting with the other. Themis, which is the goddess of justice, and is also she's always represented with a scale on her hand. And the fourth, Heracles labor, the Remansion boar, which is one of the 12 Heracles labor, and each one of Heracles labor indicate the symbolism of the passage of the sun within each of the signs, of the astrological signs. So the myth of Eros and Psyche is primarily known through the work of Apuleius, which was a Roman author and philosopher, and he wrote the story of his novel Metamorphosis, and which was composed in the 2nd century after Christ. So we are far at the end of during the Hellenism. So even though the characters of Eros, which is Cupid in Roman mythology, and Psyche originated in early Greek mythology, Apuleius' version is the most famous and has significantly shaped how the myth is understood and interpreted in later literature and culture. So Psyche is a mortal woman of extraordinary beauty, and she captures the admiration of many, and also the attention of Aphrodite, which is the goddess of beauty, Venus for the Roman mythology. She was the goddess of love. So she turned envious of Psyche's beauty because everyone was saying that Psyche was more beautiful than Aphrodite itself. So she orders her son Eros, Cupid, to make Psyche fall in love with the most horrible creature. So when Eros sees Psyche, He was so captivated by her beauty that he accidentally pricks himself with his own arrow, falling in love with her. And he takes Psyche. Eros takes Psyche to his Eden palace, where he visits her at night, but never allows her to see his face. And he tells her he's a god, but he can't reveal his identity. Of course, we are just summarizing this story as much as we can, because there are more details, but we don't have time, unfortunately, to go in the details. So Psyche grows curious about her mysterious lover that she was very attracted by, but she was not able to see him, so she was extremely curious. And despite his warnings, she decided to sneak a look at him while he was sleeping. And Psyche lights a lamp to see Eros, but unfortunately, a drop of hot oil from the lamp accidentally falls on him, waking him. So Eros was hurt by her lack of trust and flees away. Heartbroken, Psyche embarks on a quest to find Eros, facing numerous trials and challenges. And after this, that she was, of course, still angered by Psyche imposes several difficult tasks on her, including sorting a massive pile of grains and fetching the golden fleece from dangerous sheep. And Psyche receives help from various creatures like ants and the river god, who assist her in completing the tasks. So after this, sent Psyche to the underworld to fetch a box of beauty from Persephone, queen of the underworld. And Psyche tried to open the box, thinking that maybe only some beauty wouldn't affect her. She didn't do nothing bad. So she was trying to gain some of that beauty, but instead she falls into a deep sleep. And Eros, having recovered from Psyche's betrayal and realizing his love for her, finds her asleep and awakens her with a kiss. And Eros and Psyche are finally reunited at the end, and Eros asks Zeus to make Psyche immortal so they can be together forever. And okay, they end being together happy and for a long time. So this story, this journey, illustrates the need for equilibrium between love and trust, showcasing the importance of harmony in partnerships. The story embodies the complexities of love central to Libra, to the sign of Libra. Eros symbolizes romantic desire, while Psyche represents the soul's quest for unity, highlighting Libra's emphasis on cooperation and mutual respect in relationships. The challenges they face underscore the necessity of trust. Psyche's moment of doubt and betrayal reflects Libra's lesson that open communication and vulnerability are essential for healthy relationships. Psyche's trials lead to personal growth, aligning with Libra's quest for self-awareness. And her journey highlights that true love involves both self-improvement and connection with others. In essence, this myth of Eros and Psyche captures the essence of Libra, focusing on the characteristic of this sign, which are love, balance, trust, and personal transformation within relationships. But also, as Theosophists, we can look at this sign as the connection between our lower mind, our Kamasic mind, and our higher mind, our higher self, Buddhi, the Buddhic mind. So we can compare the sign of Libra to the Antakarana, which is that link that relate our lower self to our higher self. The second myth we are going to talk about is the myth of Themis, because in astrology, Libra is represented by the scale, symbolizing balance, harmony, and justice. So Themis, as the goddess of divine law and order, she embodies these qualities. And Libras are known for their diplomatic nature, desire for fairness, and ability to see multiple perspectives. They strive for equilibrium in relationships and often seek to create peace in their surroundings, reflecting Themis' influence on the sign. This connection emphasizes the importance of justice, cooperation, and aesthetic harmony in the lives of those born under Libra. So, but what is this story about? Themis is one of the Titans in Greek mythology, daughter of Uranus, which is the sky, and Gaia, earth. And she represents divine order, law, and often is associated with justice and fairness. As Titan, Themis is often represented as a powerful figure who embodies the natural order and societal norms. She's sometimes seen as a counselor of Zeus and the king of the gods, and she plays a significant role in the establishment of laws. Themis is known also to have been the second wife of Zeus, even though she was actually Zeus' owned, but because she was daughter of Uranus and Gaia, and anyone is familiar with Greek mythology knows that Uranus and Gaia are Zeus' grandparents, because Uranus was the father of Kronos, and Kronos was the father of Zeus. So Themis was Kronos' sister. But yeah, the Greek were at that time were used to this kind of unions, uncommon union. Today is very weird. So together they had several offspring, including the Ore, which are the three goddesses of the seasons, because in the ancient Greek, they used to have only 3 seasons, so only fall, autumn, summer, and spring. So they had the Ore, the 3 goddesses of the seasons, and the Moire, the goddess of fate, who controlled the destiny of gods and mortals, past, present, and future. So Themis is often represented holding a scale and a sword, symbolizing her role in administering justice. And she represents the idea that laws are essential for maintaining order in society and ensuring fairness. Themis has influenced various concepts of justice in Western culture, often represented in modern iconography as Lady Justice, which is the symbol of impartiality and the rule of law. And she embodies the principles of justice and order in Greek mythology, serving as a significant figure in the pantheon and influencing both divine and human law through history. And now I pass the torch to Vignesh, who will talk about the third myth, Heracles' labors. Please, Vignesh. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Elena. So I'm going to be talking about this myth of Heracles, or Hercules as is the Roman way of saying his name, and as he's known in the movies and stuff. So Hercules, or Heracles, was a Greek hero and demigod. He was the son of Zeus and Alcmene, and is the protagonist of many a legend, and one of which is the labors of Heracles, which we are going to talk about. So in this myth, essentially, Heracles is given these 12 tasks in the service of King Eurystheus in order to atone for his sins. And well, the sins is a whole other story, pretty dramatic, a lot of family drama and monsters and such. You should definitely read into it. But with these 12 tasks, they are significant in our study because they are said to represent the 12 astrological signs. So in this 4th task, or the 4th labor, after overcoming 3 of the challenges set by the king, the Heracles is instructed to capture this wild and dangerous monster, the Erymanthian boar, which lives in the mountain. And terrorizes the people. So he's told to capture the boar alive, which is a huge challenge, and bring him back to the king. So basically, Heracles sets off for the mountains, and on the way he meets this centaur, Pholus, who offers him roast meat and wine. And as it turns out, this wine is special and divine and special to the centaurs. And when the other centaurs find out that these guys are partaking of their wine, they fly into a rage and there's a huge fight. And Heracles ends up killing a couple of them, including he also wounds Chiron, who's a wise centaur who ultimately gives him, the guidance he needs to capture the boar. So Chiron, in the process, he's shot by Heracles' arrow, and the pain from that wound is such that he eventually gives up his immortality to escape the pain, which is another interesting story and has other consequences. So coming back to the fourth labor, after taking Chiron's advice, Heracles somehow, with his perseverance and his ingenuity and good judgment, he manages to track down the boar and capture it, and he transports it to the king, which is, you can probably see pictures and sculptures of that. It's a significant event. Next slide. So, getting into the symbolism in this story and how it relates to Libra, maybe. The boar, one can consider it as symbolic of our base desires, our lower instincts, and something that has to be overcome on the spiritual path. And Heracles' struggle is that journey of transformation. And the story, as are many of the other stories in this whole myth, the 12 labors, it is often about exercising courage and perseverance. And but in this one particularly, it symbolizes the Libran tendency and capacity to seek balance and moderation in our affairs, and the importance of practicing discernment and good judgment. It also symbolizes that the spiritual journey is not undertaken with extremes of any kind. It's a sort of middle ground. It's a path of balance and good sense. And other symbols one can probably discern is the capture of the boar required. So I didn't get into that much, but the capture of the boar was actually supposed to be very tricky because the boar was very elusive inside the mountains, and the fact that he had to capture it alive essentially meant that he had to practice just the right amount of he had to use just the right amount of strength, not too much to kill it and not too little so as to allow the boar to escape. So again, it symbolizes the exercise of balance in the way we approach life. Also, at the end, when Heracles is transporting the boar to the king, he kind of pushes it along by raising its hind legs like a wheelbarrow. And it's a humorous moment in the story. This again is supposed to symbolize, how humor gives fresh perspective to us, in times of need. It again introduces a sense of balance, to our approach. So this is the symbolic significance of this story. Each of the labors offers, valuable lessons on our spiritual path, and encountering failures, approaching everything with a balanced perspective, persevering and not being distracted by pitfalls and being aware of our actions and how they might affect other people is an important lesson that we can take from this myth. And I think America is next. And
Okay, thank you. So, Sun represents the identity and self-expression, but Sun in Libra individuals are charming, diplomatic, and value harmony in relationships. They excel at seeing multiple perspectives, making them natural mediators. With a strong appreciation for beauty and balance, they seek companionship but may struggle with indecision due to their desire to avoid conflicts. Sun in Libra individuals are optimistic and look at the brighter side of others, and that's why they easily connect with everyone. Moon represents emotions and intuition, and Moon in Libra individuals are emotionally attuned to harmony and relationships. They seek balance and peace in their personal lives and often prioritize the needs of others. Their sensitivity to social dynamics makes them excellent at navigating conflicts, but they may struggle with indecision and the fear of confrontation. So they have an incredible gift for seeing every side of situation. But overall, they thrive in partnerships and value emotional connections. Mercury represents intellect and communications, and Mercury in Libra individuals are skilled communicators who value harmony and balance in their interactions. They possess diplomatic approach to discussions, often striving to multiple perspectives before forming opinions. These individuals are adept at navigating social situations and may excel in roles that require negotiation or mediation. However, the desire for fairness can sometimes lead to indecision or overthinking. So, Mercury in Libra represents the one who is smart enough to negotiate anything and highly skilled in balancing everything. But overall, they appreciate beauty in language and ideas, making them articulate and persuasive communicators. Thank you. And Venus represents the love and beauty. Venus in Libra individuals are known for their charm, grace, and strong appreciation for beauty and aesthetics. They value harmony in relationships and seek balance and fairness in their interactions. With a natural flair of diplomacy, they excel at creating connections and fostering cooperation. And these individuals often prioritize their partner's needs, but their desire for peace can sometimes lead to indecisions. Now, Venus in Libra is really good at compromise. They are really going to try and make relationships work. But overall, they thrive in romantic and social settings, valuing love and partnership really deeply. And we can also say that Venus is the exoteric and Vedic planet of Libra. Now, Mars, that represents the energy and action. Mars in Libra individuals approach action and conflict with a focus on diplomacy and balance. They prefer to resolve disputes through negotiation rather than confrontation, valuing harmony in their interactions. While they can be charming and persuasive, their desire to please others may lead to indecision or passivity. In relationships, they seek partnership and collaboration, often channeling their energy into cooperative efforts rather than aggressive pursuits. Now, person with Mars Libra may fear that Being angry will mean that they will lose the ability to be themselves. But overall, they are motivated by fairness and strive to create equilibrium in the endeavors. Now, Jupiter represents growth and abundance. Jupiter in Libra individuals are inclined towards growth and expansion through relationships and partnerships. They value fairness and justice and harmony, often seeking balance in their interactions with others. These individuals are optimistic and sociable, attracting positive experiences through collaboration and diplomacy. They thrive in environments that promote cooperation and are often drawn to artistic or cultural pursuits. However, their desire for balance can sometimes lead to indecision. Esoterically, they would seek spiritual meaning and cues for transformation in their relationships and would deeply value collective growth. But overall, Jupiter in Libra individuals find fulfillment through meaningful connections and a sense of community. Saturn, that represents the discipline and responsibility, manifest in Libra individuals often by they experience lessons around commitment, responsibility, and balance in relationships. They value fairness and justice, striving to create harmony in their interactions. These individuals may face challenges related to partnerships, leading to navigate conflicts and establish boundaries. They tend to take their relationships seriously and may feel pressure to maintain stability. While they can be cautious and sometimes indecisive, their commitment to fairness and long-term goals often leads to meaningful and lasting connections. In the esoteric system, it is associated with challenges and the spiritual path. And Saturn signifies inner strength and resilience. It is said to connect the material and spiritual and signifies growth towards spiritual maturity. And overall, we can say that Saturn in Libra individuals seek to build solid foundations in both personal and professional relationships. Now, Uranus is the esoteric ruler of Libra. Uranus represents innovation and freedom. Uranus in Libra individuals value innovation and freedom in their relationships. That's why. And they challenge traditional norms and seek fairness and equality in partnerships. This placement fosters a progressive approach to love and collaboration, often leading to unconventional connections while balancing the need for independence. Libra Uranus may be talented musically, artistically, or in literature. They possess unique way to expressing themselves, and their work may involve the occult in some ways, very often, and they usually have strong intuition. Neptune represents the imagination and spirituality. Neptune in Libra individuals are idealistic in relationships, often seeking harmony and beauty. They have a romantic and dreamy approach of love, valuing deep emotional connections. This placement can lead to a tendency to idolize partners or relationships, sometimes blurring boundaries. They are drawn to artistic and spiritual collaborations, emphasizing compassion and understanding in their interactions. Neptune in Libra natives have a serious knack of diplomacy, but oftentimes they struggle to commit to a cause or accept that perfection in the world at large is an unrealistic goal.
Continue with Pluto, which is, okay, Pluto is the planet of transformation and power, but also about changing and what is hidden, no? And so Pluto in Libra, individuals experience profound transformation through relationships and partnerships, and they seek deep connection and often comfort issues of power, control, and balance within their interactions. This placement emphasizes the need for evolution in how they relate to others, often leading to intense and transformative experiences in love and collaboration. So they may challenge social norms and strive for fairness, ultimately seeking to uncover deeper truths about themselves and their connections. And now, Vignesh, you can take the word and present Vulcan and Earth and the nodes, please. Thank you.
Okay, I think Mary Kay is back.
Oh, she's back? Is she?
Yeah. Okay, so Vulcan. Vulcan is actually a hypothetical planet, and I think it's only mentioned in exoteric astrology, right? Probably esoteric.
Esoteric, only
It's
in
not
esoteric.
part of Vedic astrology for sure.
Yeah, no,
So
only esoteric.
only esoteric.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
not exoteric.
Okay. So it's a hypothetical planet, and the way you find it on your birth chart is it's placed about 8 degrees 12 minutes, if I'm not wrong, uh, to between the Sun and Mercury. It's closer to the Sun than Mercury, so that's how you can find your Vulcan. It might not show up in all your birth charts, but that's how you can probably locate it. So it signifies money and possessions. Vulcan is actually the Roman god of fire. And he is often represented as a blacksmith. So it also probably signifies creativity and craftsmanship. So having Vulcan in Libra, uh, individuals can characterize a strong drive for balance and harmony in their relationships. They possess a deep sense of justice and may seek to correct imbalances in their social environment. It emphasizes creativity and artistic expression, as I said, and a desire to forge meaningful partnership and collaborations to express this kind of creativity and a drive to create. Vulcan and Libra people also have a tendency to work behind the scenes. They are determined and resourceful and uh, use collaboration to bring about change. Overall, they are driven by a pursuit of beauty and fairness and constructive relationships. Um, Earth Earth and Libra. Well, first talking about the Earth, how you find uh, the Earth on your chart is it's placed opposite to the Sun, where the Sun is placed on your chart, and it signifies aspiration and grossness or crudeness. So, Earth and Libra individuals they value balance and harmony and stability in their relationships and in their surroundings. Uh, they like aesthetic surrounding the environments. They are practical. They are grounded. They are always seeking beauty and order and refinement because of their uh, base character of prudence. Uh, they desire fairness, equitability in their interactions and in their relationships, and they seek to build partnerships that are both supportive and cooperative. Uh, they often approach conflicts with a desire to find practical solutions to maintain harmony. Next seven. Yeah. So Rahu and Ketu, or the north and south nodes of the moon. So Rahu and Ketu come from Hindu mythology. They are supposed to be the head, that is Rahu, and the body, that is Ketu, of this Asura called Swaraban, who was he. There's a story of the churning of the ocean where the gods, in order to uh, gain an advantage or remove a disadvantage in their eternal struggle against the asuras or the demons, uh, they uh, s- uh, they churn the ocean to get this nectar of immortality. And Swaraban, this asura, he seeks to steal the nectar as it's being churned out. And while he's stopped uh, by Vishnu, uh, who beheads him with his Sudarshan Chakra, but uh, just before his head is beheaded, I mean, just before he's beheaded, he manages to drink some of the nectar, and thus he gains an immortality in a sense, where his head and his body remain to wander the cosmos. So that is the kind of background from Hinduism, which is an interesting story. So Rahu is actually a shadow planet that represents uh, desire, ambition, illusion, obsession, materialism, and it can lead to significant breakthroughs when harnessed positively. Uh, and on the flip side, it also indicates challenges related to attachment, desires, so on. Rahu and Libra individuals, they seek strong social connections. They desire harmony in relationships. They explore unconventional partnerships and relationships. Uh, they are advocates for fairness and social justice. Um, and their charm and diplomacy helps them navigate social situations. Overall, they embrace complexities in love and collaboration. Now, coming to Ketu. Ketu is, again, like I said, a shadow planet. It's the south node of the moon, and it's said to represent our past and karmic lessons. So uh, it is said to symbolize detachment, spirituality, and uh, yeah, karmic lessons. While in Vedic astrology, uh, it is um, it is said to have a role in our enlightenment and our transcendence of materialism. In esoteric uh, astrology, it emphasizes the soul's evolution and spiritual purpose. So, Ketu and Libra individuals often experience detachment in relationships. They struggle with issues of balance and fairness, leading to a search for deeper meaning in partnerships. Uh, having this placement encourages letting go of superficial connections and societal expectations. They have a strong sense of justice, uh, but they can also be introspective in their relationships, uh, or about their needs in their relationships. They tend to have a desire for spiritual growth through exploring relationships and partnerships in life. So, being a Libra ascendant means that um, Libra was on the eastern horizon, I think, at the time of your birth. Yes. This influences your outward personality and the impression you make on others. Uh, so, Libra ascendants are generally known to be diplomatic, charming, balanced personalities. They have a good aesthetic sense. Uh, they value partnerships, but they also tend to be indecisive. So they often show artistic and creative tendencies. They they it is found that they should often let go of self-interest, selfishness, and seek cooperation. But again, when it comes to their indecision, they also show some firmness and groundedness, which might not be apparent. Their diplomacy and equitability also makes them good lawyers and arguers. They are also expedient and practical in shrewd ways. They show a friendly exterior, but one should note that the aspects of Venus and Saturn um, might indicate their dependability. They have a keen sense of color and aesthetics, and they often need to have a harmonious environment, and they have difficulties dealing with the disorder. If Venus is poorly placed, there can be imbalance in their nature, and they tend to try too hard to please others and negate principles, or cut corners maybe to be popular. Yeah, so that's
Okay.
about Libra on the ascendant.
Okay, thank you so much. I forgot to say something in the beginning, which is quite important, that Libra is the first sign that also change an attitude, let's say, because I want to get the slide. I want to take the slides to show properly what I want to say, because it's easier if we look at the slide here. If you see the first sign is okay, it's a convention, but we have the first, we have we signed the first sign to the sign of Aries. Aries is the sign that has all the power to start a new thing, and Aries is exactly the opposite sign of Libra. So Aries starts this wheel, and we have Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, all signs which are projected to the personality, to the characteristic of the person in his more personal aspects. But the upper part of the chart, from Libra to Pisces, we have the essence of these signs is projected towards others. So all the planets that are in the first 6 houses are the planets related to in the birth chart. I mean, are the planets related to our personal issues, while the upper part is the reflection of the first 6 houses in the outer world. Okay, this is what I forgot to say, that I think is quite important to understand the sign of Libra. And okay, now do we have any question? Is there any question?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask Mike, one of the first slides you had, where you had 3 schemes next to, there was like one sign that was a little bit like erased. And I've heard about that there is this 13th of sign, and I just was wondering what you can tell about it.
Okay, let's
This
go
one?
back.
No, a little bit back in the beginning. Fourth slide. Yeah, this one. Yeah, the first figure. You can see after, no, back. The 6th slide. Yeah, now the first figure here, after Scorpio and before Sagittarius, you have this Ophiuchus.
Yeah, that is because that's called a mistake, because I was trying to find a nice picture on the internet, but I couldn't find a better one. So just ignore that one.
Okay, but I've
It's a
heard that.
mistake.
Okay.
Well, look, what I think is because we divide the zodiac into 12 portions, each portion actually has way more than just one constellation. And
Mhm.
we chose those specific constellations because they have symbolic meaning in terms of the energy that comes from that specific segment of the zodiac. So it has specific meaning. For instance, with Taurus, Pleiades is right next to Taurus, and Pleiades is, in a sense, it's like the star system that we're evolving towards. And in terms of the esoterics, the Pleiades is actually it's almost like a supervising our solar logos in that sense. And therefore, choosing Taurus, which is the constellation right next to it, makes sense because that's actually, one aspect of where the energy is coming from. So, yeah. Anyway, that's a mistake. I should totally have removed that, but my apologies.
Okay.
I'm glad you picked it up because I didn't actually see it. So,
Hmm. I actually have
Okay.
another question for
Yeah.
Elena about this story of Psyche and Eros, and I was thinking on my own that this is a union of lower and higher, but I was thinking that Psyche is lower because she have to go through all this quest, and the Eros was waiting, and in the end he was like kind of helping her. So I was thinking, could it be like the other way around?
Actually, no, Psyche is the higher mind because only the higher mind has this feeling to discover, no, this need almost is a need to go to look at her face lover and to grow, no, to go toward all these difficulties because she wants to know, she wants to understand. And Eros is just the lower mind because he's just passionate and he will live like that without any other interaction. No, you just go there during the night in her bed and do all this nice thing together, and that's it. The day after he is gone, you know. So no, actually he's the lower, the kama, the desire, that feeling that he wants to love, and just that is fine enough for him. He doesn't need to know.
I heard somebody says, I think maybe it was Kim Dew, that Eros in the beginning meant like a higher love, but over the time it becomes the Kama. And nowadays it is like almost synonym to the Kama, but in the beginning it meant like the higher love. Yeah.
Yes, but probably for sure, but it always has been represent. He was in the beginning. He was a child, and he always has been the reason to that that sparkle that enhance the love within people. Okay, so it can be higher. It depends. It depends on the personalities.
Yeah, thank you.
You. And we were discussing the other day within us, and Mike came with a very nice statement that Libra is the representation of beauty, and beauty in a way is also truth. So Libra in a way is also truth, and this is correct because also we saw this within the myths, Themis, and the looking for, and also Psyche, that is, she's looking for the truth. She wants to know the truth, Psyche. No, yeah. So yeah, this relation between beauty and truth here is very well explained in this sign, is very well represented, I would say. Thank you, Mike, for this reflection.
And there's no
Pleasure.
religion higher than truth.
No, exactly. Exactly. There is no religion higher.
Can we say that there's no religion higher than beauty?
Of course.
Possibly, because when you have an encounter with truth, right? So for instance, when you climb up to the top of a mountain, you look outwards, you will be like, wow, you feel awe by that. It's like you look up in the night sky, you feel like, wow, that is so beautiful. And at that very moment, it's almost like you've been struck by truth. And so whenever we get glimpses into the nature of something or into a profound truth, we feel that immediate shock as if we've been struck by truth. That kind of feeling is all like when you watch a film and in like one of the scenes in the movie, like it's almost explains something universally human, and the depths of human nature has been explained just by one visual scene, and you feel like, wow, that is so accurate. And at that moment, beauty equates to truth in that aspect. This discussion actually has a historical aspect because philosophers for thousands of years try to figure out what exactly beauty is, because whenever we have a encounter with profound beauty, it's almost like we're immediately recognizing that this is the truth. And at the end of the day, I think there is no difference between the two.
I agree.
Wow.
Oh, sorry. Okay, anyone else wants to ask a question? Sorry again. Jagadish or Catalina. Hi, Catalina. Melissa. Hi. Yoganand. Hi. Hi, all. Do you want to ask any question?
I mean, I guess I do have a question, but I wondered if I maybe missed it because I had to step away quickly. I noticed that you guys had on one of the slides Earth in Libra, and that had a meaning. I've never seen that before. I've never seen somebody, or I've never seen the sign that Earth was in at the time of your birth to be included in an astrological chart. So maybe I just don't know where to. I've never recognized that before, but yeah, no, it was another one, the one that has Vulcan on it. Yes. So there was a Vulcan and then Earth. And I have heard of Vulcan before, but I've never heard of Earth and Libra. So
yeah,
yeah,
those two are only regarding the esoteric astrology. They are not in the exoteric astrology. The Western traditional astrology doesn't have these planets, and neither Vedic astrology doesn't consider these two planets. And I had a note from a Brazilian guy, actually, the other day. He told me that he was watching some, I think from Ricardo Linderman, something like a talk by Ricardo Linderman, and he was saying that Vulcan, actually, we can't see Vulcan because it's in the third chain. It's a planet of the third chain. But it's very important influences us esoterically in a hidden way. This is very interesting, I think. Yeah, I want to go deeper. Next time we will have more information to share.
But one more thing, can you put back some of the first slides of Mike? I just there's
Sure.
where the sun, where the Earth looking towards the sun, you can see how the sunshine is signed. And Mike, maybe you can explain how the Earth sign is.
yeah, like for
sure.
example, how would you read that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your Earth is 180 degrees from the sun always. And that naturally makes sense because if the sun is in one of the houses, from the perspective of the sun, then the Earth will be directly opposite to that. And the Earth represents energies of nurturing, of support, of home. That's where we all live. And an interesting note can be made here is that the sun is always square Earth. So I think that has specific meaning in the deeper sense that if the sun represents a kind of the solar logos that we are striving to be one with, and the Earth is where we are at the moment. I think there are multiple higher interpretations of that fact. But yeah, on the chart, if you see, for instance, can we go to a previous slide, please? So in this slide, we have sun in the third house in Leo, right? So in this specific example, Earth would be in Aquarius, exactly 180 degrees. So exact opposite, exact square of sun, that's where the Earth is found. Not all astrological software calculate the Earth, but you can just make that inference based on the degrees.
Thank you, Mike.
I just wanted to say I thought this was so cool that we included the legends and myths along with the signs. I'm really enjoying this, and I look forward to our next one.
Thank you. Oh, you can also participate. We are actually meeting every 2 days to create the presentation. So
You know what?
everyone.
I think I gathered that by now, but I don't think I have that much knowledge to like contribute to a presentation. I feel like I'm in a learning stage right now. So I mean, I was.
Hey,
Yeah, actually we all are. Yeah.
No,
Oh,
no.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
No,
we're all
these
like that.
guys are a little modest. I literally started from zero.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so
Me
I'm
too.
just, Mike is incredibly, well, he won't admit it, but he's pretty knowledgeable about this
He's
stuff.
advanced. Yeah, he's the most
All right.
advanced of us. Yeah.
And
All right,
I-
I
cool.
I
started
don't know
from
anything
zero.
about
I
this.
didn't know what a house is. I still am
Okay.
not sure entirely. So I'm kind of, crawling along, but it's really good. And once you can attend meetings and stuff, but once you prepare like this for a
hmm
presentation or something, it kind of reinforces itself
Well,
in
then in
your
that
mind.
case, I don't see why not. If you guys are in the same boat, then yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
love
yeah.
to participate.
I'm sure you know more than I do, so don't worry about it.
I don't know about that, but so I'm kind of familiar with it because I've recently gotten some astrology readings, and I'm trying to like do a deep like zoom in on my life and kind of like. Anyways, I'm looking at astrology, so I think I
That's
could
nice.
follow along.
Very
And
nice.
I would encourage your participation, Melissa, because
Okay.
one of the things I've observed is that we all actually become more familiar with our own chart. And so
hmm
our own specific placements, our own
hmm
specific signs and houses and planets, which has a significant placement in the
hmm
chart. So what this means is the more people that we can participate here in the
hmm
group, the more knowledge we would all have. And so, for
Okay.
instance, maybe you're familiar with some planets that's not predominantly featured in some of our ones, but you would have intimate knowledge of that because you have lived experience of those
Yes.
influence of the planets. So I
Okay.
think that would be a lot of value adding there. And we can all learn things together and it's more fun with more people.
Excellent.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Mike. And also on next Sunday, every the successive Sunday after the meeting, the official meeting, we have a birth chart reading, which is not recorded, and we just gather to read our birth charts and learn from that. So that's also another interesting meeting, but it's not recorded, so it's still in our unofficial group. Okay, guys, we can chant the closing mantra, which is a mantra which says that we are complete, the universe is complete, everything is complete, and we go in with Shanti. Okay, a deep breath, take a deep breath. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Jai Gurudev Namaha. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Thank you. Thank you, guys. See you next time. And our next time will be Saturday, October 26th at 1:30 p.m. Not at 1 next time, but we will send more informations on our unofficial and official groups. I mean, the official group is just the forum, and the unofficial group is the group to coordinate all these meetings, the collateral meetings that we have during the week, every 2 days. We gather almost always at 1 p.m. So anyone wants to join us is more than welcome. And so far is me, Merike, Mike, and Vignesh that we are building. We just built these slides and we enjoyed. So it looks like we are continuing this journey together. But anyone wants to join us is more than welcome, because the more we are and the more we can learn. So thank you so much for being here today, and I look forward to see you again. Goodbye. Thank you so much.
Thanks. See you.
See you. Thank you.